Hello and welcome to How to Transform with Wallas Toy Reviews. In this video I will be working with Premier Edition Voyager Megatron from Transformers The Last Night and show you the transformation sequence from Cybertronian jet to robot mode and back. Let's begin! To start transforming Megatron from Cybertronian jet to robot mode, we first have to make sure the sword is not resting on top of his hole where it tabs in, if you so choose. And now we can get our hands on the wings, which we have to gently untap from the main body. So we press down on them a bit. And now we can spread them out. Same over here. As you can see, there's a slot and there's a tab. And to further disassemble all of this, we can now get our hands on these rare canards and unplug them from the rest of the body. Again, slot here, tab here, and over here as well. Yes, and we can lift them up and already pull them down. And we leave them alone for the time being. With that done, we can now use this hinge to get all of this up, but first we make sure it's unsecured from the bottom where it connects to the robot mode front skirts. If this is still connected, we just get our finger beneath the skirt and untap it and repeat on the other side, and now we can safely get this up but not flip it down over here for now. Now let's work on the legs. So first we want to get them closer to each other, and we want to get our hands on this piece that will become a foot in a moment. We first have to swing it out so it lands below the shin as logic dictates in humanoid robots. So we want to gently pull down on the wing assembly to untap this, and we now move it over here, and we can also flip the foot so that it's in a more humanoid position. And now we can use this hinge over here and over here to wrap the wing around the leg, and it will tab with this slot over here on the side of the knee guard. Like that, and now we can swing the leg out, and one leg is almost done. To complete it, we can also get our hands on this thruster piece, and while we are lowering it down, we can flip it around to form a side skirt. And now this is done, so repeat over here. Pull down on the wing to release the foot, place it under the shin, rotate it out, bend the first joint on the wing, as well as the other one closer to the leg, and tap everything together, and rotate the other leg out, and now rotate around the thruster and complete the side skirt. So now let's go to the top. So now we have something like this. We now get our hands on this assembly from the rear of the jet and pull it down so it's closer to the cockpit, and now we can flip up these pieces and get our hands on the forearms, which connect both of the arms together using this tab and this slot. That usually works, but not always. These do have a tendency to slightly try to escape from each other, but it's not a problem. In this direction, it's actually something good. So we separate these, and now we can flip the arms outside, and the idea is that these panels will wrap around with the arms and tab in using this tab in this slot to complete Megatron's robot chest. Yes! And now we can start transforming the arms, which is easy. For the right arm, we just flip out the fist. We can use the decorations on his hands to get some leverage. And we can also flip out his cannon, so it's on the side of the arm, and also flip down the barrel of his fusion cannon. And on the other arm, it's easier, you just flip out the hand. And the final steps are: first, get your hands on the nose and bend it back. First on this hinge, then on the hinge behind the cockpit. And now rest the nose on the back assembly. And finally, flip around Megatron's head. And if you like swords, you can give Megatron his own, either by tabbing it over here on the back, or by putting it into one of his hands. In my case, I prefer the left hand. And with that said and done, Megatron's robot mode is complete. And now it's time to transform Megatron back into his Cybertronian jet mode. So first, if you have the sword installed either in his fist or on his back, remove it. And now get your hand on the head and spin it around so that we can see its back. And now we can get our hands on the jet nose that's resting on the back and swing it forward so that it starts covering Megatron's face, like so. And now we have the nose and cockpit assembled. So now we get our hands on the sides of the chest and snap them out of their robot mode resting place and flip them away like that. And now we can work on the arms. First, flip the fists inside Megatron's forearms, and in case of right arm, also flip up the fusion cannon's barrel and flip it down so that it lands behind the elbow. Right. And on the other arm, just flip in the fist. And now we can rotate the arms away from the main chest structure, where we can also combine them. And the idea is that you make sure the tip of the gun gets into this cutout, and then the arms connect together using this tab in this slot, like that. And now we can close off the chest panels, and we make sure that everything's pretty flush, because that's going to be important when we finish off transforming to vehicle mode. And now we can lift this up, but not entirely. We want it to stay on the top for the time being. Now let's get our hands on the legs, where we can first flip up the side skirts and rotate them out so that the thrusters are facing to the chest. We can also flip up the front skirts. And now we can start transforming the legs, first by gently splitting them apart and rotating them in. Now we can also flip in Megatron's feet. And now we can separate the wingtips that were on the side of his leg. And we have 2 steps to straight out. 1 and 2. And over here as well. 1 and 2. And now we can flip the foot assembly inside the shins. And if you feel the wing is breaking the process, you can gently pull it down to make sure the leg completes its journey. Alright, and now it's time to remember about the arm assembly. Now we can pull it down completely. And now we can also come back to the side skirts which we now flip up. And now we will pull them down so that they will lock in using this slot and this tab at the bottom of the arm assembly. So down it goes. Same here. Here. And now we can reconnect the legs, which will just gently tab in using this slot and this tab over here. Like this. And we repeat this over here. Yes, and finally we can secure the entire mode by tabbing together the forearms and the front skirts. So a tab here and a slot here. They will connect together gently. Yes. And finally, if you so choose, you can also reconnect this sword on top of the jet mode. And with that, Megatron's Cybertronian jet mode is complete again. And with that said, it's time to end today's transformation guide. I hope you've enjoyed it and it was useful to you in some way. More videos like this are on their way, and I encourage you to suggest toys that you are interested in for future guides in the comments, and maybe even subscribe to my channel if you want to help it grow and see what's coming next. Anyhow, thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon, and until then, stay well.